The Ancient Adventure and the Six Heroes. This is a new story, a new legend introduced in episode 12 of Pokemon Horizons, explaining the reason behind Roy's fascination behind the Ancient Adventure and the Ancient Pokeballs. This Ancient Adventure traveled to every Pokemon region alongside his 6 partners that comprised his team. 2 are already confirmed as of now, being the shiny Rayquaza and the Titan Arboliva, which helped soar through the skies and heal wounds as told in the legend. But what were the other 4 Pokemon he traveled with? Hey Pokemon Champions, I'm Champion Blaze, and today I'll give my thoughts and speculation on what I believe to be the most likely candidates for the remaining 4 Pokemon in the legend of the Ancient Adventure. I'll take into account the imagery of the book made by Lico's father, the descriptions and info given in the legend, as well as the silhouettes provided for these Pokemon. With the intro covered, let's dive into my predictions. Let's get started. The 6 heroes helped the Ancient Adventure as he traveled across all the regions of the Pokemon world. They raced across the skies, traveled across the seas, broke through walls, healed wounds, and galloped across the land. As I stated in the intro, the dragon figure we can see here has been confirmed to be shiny Rayquaza, and the Pokemon that is said to heal wounds has been confirmed to be the Titan Arboliva. So let's begin with the Pokemon that helped him cross the sea. Judging from the silhouette, it seems to resemble a turtle or plesiosaur, and with the blue background, this is most likely a water-type Pokemon. So I think there's 2 options, Terapagos or Lapras. Given the strong connection and correlation between the events of Pokemon Horizons and Lico's pendant and Roy's ancient Pokeball, as well as the mini Terapagos Pokemon that can emerge from the pendant, I'm willing to bet the Ancient Adventurer traveled across the sea using Terapagos. On top of it, Terapagos is the mascot Pokemon for the Indigo Disc DLC of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which takes place at Blueberry Academy in the middle of the ocean no less, so it only makes sense. But then there's Lapras as an option as well, because ever since the Orange Island saga of the anime, Lapras has been the designated Pokemon synonymous with surfing across the sea. We can see Ash and friends using it to travel between the Orange Islands. In Gen 2 it serves as the surfing sprite, and it returns as the surfing model in Generations 6 and 7. So aside from Terapagos, Lapras is the next best choice. Next, let's tackle this flying Pokemon with a red silhouette. Clearly this must be a fire or flying type Pokemon, and I think the best candidates are Talonflame and Galarian Moltres. Talonflame is here because it just easily matches the fire flying typing, and it's also a very fast Pokemon. But I personally think Galarian Moltres is far more likely because its body type more accurately matches the given silhouette. It's got a clearly defined avian and bird-like body, it matches the proportions of Galarian Moltres and even down to its flowing tail that Galarian Moltres clearly has. I also don't think it's a coincidence that right as we learned about this legend, the anime announces that our next destination is the Galar region, so Galarian Moltres seems like a fitting choice. Up next, the Pokemon that galloped across the land. My top choices are Mudsdale, Rapidash, and both forms of Arcanine. Let's start with Mudsdale. It's quite literally a Clydesdale horse that one can ride across the land like we do in Alola. In terms of Rapidash, its Japanese name is quite literally Gallop, and this Pokemon is featured in the original opening when the song says, "I will travel across the land searching far and wide." Then there's Arcanine, both its Cantonian form and Hisuian form. This is the best option here as its body type distinctly matches the silhouette given in the legend, especially with the tail as well. Arcanine is prominently featured as a ride Pokemon among others in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and is also shown in the same shot as Rapidash in the original Pokemon opening. I also think it's worth noting that Lico's grandmother has been shown with an Arcanine by her side and has been stated to live in Galar, which, keep in mind, is their next destination, and she's the one who also told this legend to Lico and her father as well, which is the same legend and story that Roy heard as a kid. And given Arcanine's Pokédex classification as the legendary Pokemon, I think it's definitely the best option here. And lastly, we have the Pokemon that can break through walls. I'm thinking it's gotta be a fighting type Pokemon. What's interesting though is that this Pokemon also has a body shape resembling a bird. People have speculated it could be Kleavor, and while it's too early to really rule anything out, I just don't think it's gonna be Kleavor. At first I thought it would be Galarian Zapdos, but 1, it's not going to be breaking through walls with its wings, it would more so use its legs, and 2, I don't think the Ancient Adventure would have 2 Galarian legendary birds. My guesses here are going to be Hawlucha, Mienshao, Hisuian Decidueye, Blaziken, and Quaquaval. Mienshao is simply here because its body type really matches the silhouette shown in the picture book, especially with the position and shape of the arms. Blaziken is the franchise's most popular fighting bird since its debut, so having this Pokemon break through walls would make sense. However, I'm not too sold on Blaziken. Then there's Quaquaval, which would be a great choice simply because it's a very strong Pokemon right now in competitive Pokemon given its moves and abilities, plus more some Paldean representation would be great. But my two strongest choices here are Hawlucha and Hisuian Decidueye, two very popular and strong fighting types with avian physiology that almost perfectly match the entire silhouette shown in the picture book. They could easily break through walls, and with Hawlucha it adds a Colossian member to the team for more world representation, and if the Ancient Adventurer can have Hisuian Arcanine, then there's no reason he can't have Hisuian Decidueye as well. So to recap, the choices I think are the most likely for these 6 Pokemon after Shiny Rayquaza and Arboliva are going to be Terapagos or Lapras, either form of Arcanine, Galarian Moltres, and either Hawlucha or Hisuian Decidueye. So while 2 of these silhouettes are still toss-ups, I'm very confident in all of the Pokemon I've chosen here today. Let's just hope the predictions in the community age better than all of us trying to predict the figures shown here during the PWC, but only time will tell. For now, I'll tell you thank you for watching, and to leave your predictions in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, make sure to train hard, and I'll catch you guys later.